How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Story of the Fight listeners? What is up, Will?
What's up? What's up?
We have, I'm sure, a ton of people interested to tune in today to listen to UFC Fight Night in Edmonton, Canada. But before we do, want to remind everybody, let's like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It goes a long way. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steady climbing. We're working towards it.
We're getting there. We're at 15,468 or something like that.
Something like that.
Slowly but surely.
Something like that.
Yeah. We're going to be doing this live. If you're not tuning in live, even though everybody who follows combat sports is, like you said, itching to hear the live chat about this event specifically. But if you are coming in later and you're not watching this live, we will have timestamps. So if you want to specifically hear about Aiemann Zahabi versus Pedro Munhoz, the timestamp will be there.
What? Oh, awesome. But yes, hey, we did have a couple of popular fighters on that card. So do you want to go ahead and just get started?
Yeah, I mean, let's just do it.
All right. We're going to cover the main event to start off. We have Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi. Brandon Moreno coming in. He was favored going into this fight as well. And just recently lost to Brandon Royval, right? Lost in a split decision.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, people were wondering because he lost to Pantoja, split decision, lost to Brandon Royval, split decision, going in with the 2-fight losing streak. They were wondering, were we witnessing the end of the Brandon Moreno run, the assassin baby?
Yeah, and real quick, want to give a shout out to Gan Scout. Missed the card, was role-playing Ron Burgundy at a Halloween party. I saw it. It was a great costume.
Yeah, it was good.
You didn't miss too much, except for the third longest UFC event in history. And I, no joke. I'm sorry, Canada. And shout out Pepper. Angie said, "What's up, boys?
What up?
What's up?"
Always nice hearing from Pepper, huh?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you mentioned it, Will. How long was it?
It was like 3 hours and something minutes. It was long.
Dude.
And what did I say? Like our last stream where I was like, hey, I think it was because we were previewing this at the time. It had 14 fights on it because one of them got canceled, but it had 14 fights. And I was like, I'm sorry, but it's too much.
It is, dude.
It's too many.
I mean, and this is coming from guys that absolutely love watching fights, you know?
Love it.
It's just, come on. What are we doing?
What?
Dude, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. But the fight itself was, I enjoyed this fight.
That's exactly what I was going to say, right? The fight was still a lot of fun. I always enjoy watching Brandon Moreno. He's an exciting fighter. He's represents Mexico, the first Mexican-born champion that's living in Mexico, training out of Tijuana. Well, I don't think he's living over there anymore, but at the time, you know, he jumped ship as well. He's like, you know what? Let me go. Where was he training for a while there? Wasn't it? He was training
He was with the James Krause.
Yeah, that's what it was. The James Krause.
Maybe two.
And then they're like, no, you can't be there anymore, or else you can't fight in the UFC. And he was like, okay, well, I didn't really like him that much. So now he's with Saud, is it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, which I don't know if it was the right call.
But
because
he looked good.
He looked good in this fight, but his last fight, it looked like a completely different Brandon Moreno, where he's just winging that overhand, and that's all he was really doing, and he kept getting caught in the middle, right? I mean, it's just too one-dimensional from what he used to be. So I don't know if that's, who knows what that is. Maybe that's just the game plan they thought for Royval was just heavy overhands, and just that will make it. But
maybe, and he usually has the hands down by his waist.
He
right?
wasn't doing that in the Royval fight.
He wasn't really doing that. Sorry, I have to get my iPad here that has my notes. But yes, usually with the hands down at the hips or elbows down at the hips, right? And he would actually work his way from there. He's coming in more with like a classic boxer stance.
Mhm.
hands high up by his brows and working off of that. The step and jab looked fantastic. His ability to get in and out
Oh
throughout the
yeah,
entire fight was so good. He mixed in the high kick throughout the fight to kind of catch Albazi off guard. When he
yeah.
catches him with that first left high kick, I was like, oh, I think he blocked it because it sounded like it hit the glove. And
Mhm.
then Albazi did one of
Oh
these, a little shimmy. He didn't mean to do the shimmy. I think his body naturally did it.
yeah.
But he rocked him.
He definitely rocked him. He rocked him a couple times and couldn't quite get the finish. The high kick was definitely one of them, and the high kick was beautiful because I don't remember exactly the sequence, but it was like a 3 or 4 punch combination that led into the high kick as Albazi was like, "All right, finally he's done throwing punches. Let me skate out on the outside," and just bam, just cracked him with that high kick. It was awesome. Um,
Yeah.
it was really cool to see. I liked he caught that. Albazi had a good game plan. You could tell the game plan was heavy leg kicks because Moreno usually is leaning over that lead leg, but eventually Moreno really caught that and was like aware of that, and he was checking and he was just picking up his ankle right, um, bending at the knees. The kick would just sweep right under him, and then bam, he's just there for the counters. It was good,
Were you
man.
surprised that Albazi did not go for more takedowns? I know that Brandon Moreno in the first was able to. Well, he didn't stuff a takedown. He was taken down, but then he did the butt scoot. Right, he
Mhm.
scooted back like 3 or 4 times, like really, really quickly, and
Yeah,
got up and got out, and then just kept on doing his thing.
and then never
Uh,
again, right?
yeah, he like abandoned the takedown altogether after
Yeah, and real quick, shout out Peeping Tom. Hello, everyone. That's Tom Aspinall himself.
that.
That's hilarious.
Peeping Tom coming through. He's just like, I wonder if this podcast will drop my name somehow today. Let me go and peep in here real quick.
Hey, you're
And we
welcome.
did because of the yeah. So shout out
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall. There you go. Um, but overall, fantastic performance. Albazi's right eye kept on getting hit on a regular basis. He had the nice step in lead left hook as well. Moreno
Well,
did,
that's the
which kept
jab
on.
sets it up perfectly, right?
Oh, so good, dude.
Yeah.
So good. So he was wearing it. Albazi was wearing it by the end of the fight. How about Brandon Moreno when he got eye poked?
Oh, and I felt so bad, dude. I thought they clashed heads right before that. In the exchange right before that, I thought they slammed each other in the head, and I was like, "Oh no, hopefully he
Yeah,
doesn't have anything from
yeah.
that." And then it was the eye poke. It was tough, dude.
It was pretty tough, yeah. But Marc Goddard is like, "Can you see?" And he goes, "Yes. 2 eyes, 1 nose." And he goes, "Wait,
Yeah.
what?" And he goes, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. And Marc Goddard mentioned something about his nose not being a good one or something like that. I don't know, but I thought that was hilarious. And
Yeah,
then,
that's great.
he's just so humble. Again, in the post-fight interview, such a likable guy.
Oh, dude.
Family man. He's probably gonna go home and play with his Legos after that. Just such a
Yeah.
likable dude.
I mean, look at him. I know maybe
Yeah.
there's people that started to kind of dislike him for reasons outside of him.
Oh,
It
you
was
watch
more
that
about
dirty mouth of yours.
well, I think it was more because of how many times they did the Figueiredo fights that they were like over it, and it bled into not
Mm,
liking him, which is I don't agree with that, but I'm also a fanboy and have been for a while.
same,
But
same.
man, when he's on, he is on, dude. You hit your parlay, huh?
I did hit my parlay. Your boy hit the parlay, made some money back finally. Look, dude, I started betting on the NFL too,
Uh
and
oh,
then that's not going
dude,
so well.
Mighty Mouse got you, dude.
It's Mighty Mouse's fault, dude. If you're watching this, Demetrius, Mighty Mouse Johnson, this is 100% your fault because you're the one that talked to me about Prize Picks, promo code Mighty, and you're the one that started talking to me about all these different options around betting. And I was like, you know what? I think I could do this. So your boy is in the hole right now, Will.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sell my car next week. I think. I don't know.
Uh
Well, no, it's not that bad, but
oh.
but look, I hit that parlay, and I think going forward, I'm sticking with just MMA.
That's the move, dude. That's
Man, that's the move.
baseball season, easy to make some picks. Easy
You
to
think
make some
so?
picks. At least on price picks. It doesn't seem like they'll be like, oh, this pitcher plus this pitcher combined for this money strikeouts. And you just pick the over under, right? And man, some of those are
Yeah.
easy.
Ganskow says invest, don't gamble. Look, I haven't touched and dipped into my Fidelity account yet, okay? But right now, look, I'm okay. I just got to win some more to make up what was lost. And then from there, make some extra money, go to Vegas, double that, and then I invest that money. That's the plan right
That's rough, man.
now.
That's rough.
So, just a worst financial plan in history.
Yeah. But I mean, what do you do? What do you do now in the flyweight division? You got Asakura taking on Pantoja. Moreno obviously doesn't get a title shot off of this, but I think Albazi was ranked 3rd, right?
Albazi was ranked 3rd. Yeah, he already beat. When I say he, Brandon Moreno already beat Kai Kara France.
Mm-hmm.
He just fought Brandon Royval. Royval, of course, wants a title fight. You have Tatsuro Taira.
Ooh. What do we got? What who's above him? Did they put Asakura in the rankings?
Who's above who?
I haven't looked at the rankings.
Tatsuro Taira?
No, Moreno. Just Royval? Okay.
Yeah, it's just Royval.
You can't do
champion,
that.
Legendre Pantoja. Hey, shout out
Yeah.
Combat Sports. Saying Royval versus Moreno 3.
Hey, and real quick, an extra shout out for Combat Sports Today. Masterclass from Brandon Moreno. He's back. If you guys aren't following Combat Sports Today, definitely do
Give him a
it right
follow
now.
for sure.
Really good page if you're trying to stay up to date on stuff. Especially, they cover UFC stuff, but if you're trying to keep up to date, sometimes it's hard. It's getting a lot better now, but it's because of pages like this where it's easier now more than ever to kind of pay attention to other organizations in combat sports that aren't just the UFC. And these guys do a great job of covering everything else and just keeping you up to date. You don't have to, you used to have to dig, dude, to figure out when stuff was happening. Like it was crazy. And now, because of pages like Combat Sports Today, you get to see all the inner workings. This guy signed here. This fight just got booked, all that kind of stuff. Definitely recommend.
For sure. Absolutely. And also got to watch the podcast with Nick and Combat Sports, right? I believe it was Phil that hopped on, was it?
Yeah, my bad. I
Also,
told him you were 50.
I'm not 50. I'm not 50. I went on there. I left a comment. I was like, your boy's not 50. Might have some gray hairs on my chin, but doesn't mean your boy's 50. Also, not very good with the social medias, which is why I feel like 50 sometimes. But it's all good.
It is what it is.
So funny, dude. I was cracking up when I was watching that. But yeah, so with Moreno, again, Tatsuro Taira would be a lot of fun. I don't know, man. We're kind of like at a little bit of a stalemate here with Brandon Moreno having just won this one too, huh?
Yeah, I don't think you can do Tatsuro just because he just lost to Royval, right? So he shouldn't get to jump.
Should be a step back
again
for Moreno if he were to fight him. Ganskow says Moreno should fight Kai Kara France, which, I mean, last time he beat him
last time, right?
He finished him, right? It'd be different if it was like a close split decision, but he finished.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
What else are you gonna do?
Because he just beat Urseg, who just fought for the title, who was coming off a title shot. He beat Urseg, knocked him out. If that's not a jump up in the rankings, what is? You know?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
True. All right.
Book it again.
Tell him to sign the dotted line then.
Well, they gotta send it first.
Send it to him, Will. All right.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I got on that main event, though. Again, Moreno looked absolutely fantastic. We'll see what's next. But I'm with you. He definitely should not fight down at this point. Just continue looking up, which would really leave.
Well, he might have to fight down.
The champion.
Yeah, he might have to fight down. It's just...
He did. He just did.
Yeah. But
you know what I mean?
I don't think they give him a title shot.
Continue fighting down?
Well, maybe if Asakura beats Pantoja, I could see them doing it actually. If Pantoja wins, there's no way they do Pantoja Moreno. What is it? Would it be 4, right?
Yeah. Do it. Just do it. I don't know why, but a lot of these Moreno rematches, I don't mind a lot of the Moreno rematches, honestly.
It's because
all his fights are so exciting. It is.
Yeah,
it is.
You know what, dude? I think Moreno has the most rematches in the flyweight division.
Yeah. I say, why not just have Moreno move up and just fight Davison Figueiredo again? Just every weekend. Just give me that fight, dude. I'm here for it. All right. By the way, everybody, this might be a little bit of a fast episode.
It also might turn into a shit show.
Yes.
Because we're already done covering most of the good fights, and we've just done one of them.
Most of the good fights, literally the main event. All right,
Yeah.
we can move on to the next one. We had Yo Girl Rose Namajunas versus Erin Blanchfield.
Look, man.
Yeah,
I don't know what to
exactly.
say. Look, was it a massive red flag when Trevor Whitman wasn't in the corner anymore?
That's
Yes.
in my notes. Where's Whitman?
They got rid of him.
Yeah.
Look,
Why?
I'm not going to be the guy to hound on the whole Pat Barry situation. It's been said to death. I don't really want to spend most of our time talking about that. I get it. He's a fighter. He had success. They clearly still understand the game to a certain point. I can't. Scott Rose needs to drop Pat. Look, I don't know if she needs to drop him necessarily. Maybe it's good. I don't know. They clearly have an interesting relationship where he clearly is a mainstay in her life for her, just like being, not just fighting, but just being, right? Like they're very close knit. But man, it was so evident in this fight that she is still one of the most skilled fighters on the roster, right? But their understanding of game plans, maybe, or something, is just so broken. It's so broken. And there's not a ton of photos from
She
this
looked
because
good the first couple rounds.
dude, she looked amazing in the first 2
Yeah.
rounds.
Yeah.
She was lighting her up. She was staying on the outside. She hit that sweet trip against the fence.
The timing too with the right hand, and you would
I
hear
mean,
him say, as soon as she goes in, as soon as she moves,
yeah,
Rose, as soon as she moves,
mhm,
and as soon as Blanchfield would come in, pop that right
yeah,
down the middle, dude, and would
nasty.
just it was so good. And then we had the
Yeah,
takedown, and in the third round,
mhm.
Blanchfield spends a majority of the time on top with top control, and Rose after that,
Half guard, right?
yeah, in half guard, and Rose after that, you could just see her energy start depleting. So is it
Yeah.
the game plan or is
I
it
don't know if it's the energy as
the
far as gas tank.
conditioning?
No, because look, she got taken down. She got in half guard. She dug an underhook. She grabbed her own wrist. She got the lockdown. It wasn't really a lockdown, but she definitely trapped the leg, and she held on. I don't know if it's game planning for a stand up or I'm saving myself for the next round. I'll just lose this one. It's a 5-round fight. All I need to do is win another round. I won the first 2 clearly, and then round 4, all of a sudden Blanchfield has, like they even talked about it, Blanchfield has this new sense of confidence, and because she just won the round and got her game plan going, and she just started to kind of overwhelm Rose. Rose is very good when she can slow her opponent down with her elusiveness and her stick and move. And like you said, as soon as you commit, she's there first, and it
Mhm.
discourages you from attacking or blitzing. But once you say, you know what, I'm just gonna say fuck it, and I'm gonna overwhelm that and eat that first punch and just keep blitzing, she starts to kind of get overwhelmed. And I think, I don't know what it is, man, but she clearly, if you look at those first 2 rounds, especially with the clinching, the takedown defense was great. The trip was fantastic. She clearly, the skill set is still there. Her skill set is definitely still there. And it's not like a lot of times you'll see like fighters after they got the belt and they start their downward trend. It's because um, the skill set is still there, but like the chin isn't there. And you can't
Mm.
take the shots you used to be able to take, but you could still see
Yeah.
glimpses of that skill set, and then bam, you get caught, and you're like, damn, still just can't can't do it. That's clearly not what's going on with Rose. It's purely mental, I think. I mean, this is a fight she should have won, dude.
It is a fight she should
Bottom
have
line.
won. Again, I do think that Trevor Whitman not being in her corner has a large negative impact on her. And I think it's one of those things that makes me think about Mackenzie Dern with Jason Perillo and no Jason Perillo in her corner. You see a
Yeah.
big difference,
And then
right?
he comes back.
And then she looks better.
Yeah.
And I think it's the exact same thing with Rose, right? Like
Well,
I don't know.
after the third round, you could hear Pat Barry saying, "It's just dribbling. We just got to dribble. We just got to dribble." No, that's not who Rose should be. That's not the fighter Rose should be with her skill set. It shouldn't be keeping you on the outside of the jab and coasting to a decision off of peppering you to stop you from getting your game going. Like that's the setup. That's not the final game plan. You start that way to stop them from implementing their game plan. And once you've got them stuck on your dribble, then you start implementing phase 2 and get some damage going. The game plan can't be to dribble. You know what I mean?
Want to see peppering? Give me Angie. Give me Pepper from
Give
Thailand.
me Pepper. Yeah,
exactly. Give me the real Pepper. Don't give me any peppering over here with Rose Namajunas, dude.
Yeah, Combat Sports Today. My group chat was pissed when they found out this was 5 rounds. Ganskow looking around like, who thought this needed to be 5 rounds? Yeah. Oh, man.
Seriously.
He also Blanchfield versus Grasso
the Congo fight left Pat with some brain damage.
Oh,
still one of the best highlights ever.
Yeah, well, if you're Congo. Dude, did you ever watch Rampage's podcast? The Jackson podcast?
No.
They had Rose and Pat. Well, they had Rose on, which means you got Pat Barriault on. And
by default.
And they pull up the Czech Congo clip and like he's like, what the hell, man? I don't want to watch this. And they're like, just walk us through it. Like, you're like, whoa, dude.
No.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's their way of being like, yo, we invited her. We didn't invite you. Since you're on, dude, we're gonna make you regret it.
Yeah. Combat Sports Today says Blanchfield versus Grasso, rumored from Mexico City card. That's an interesting matchup. I like it. I think that's clear. That's the clear fight to make, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right, man. We ready to move on?
Yeah, this is where we're definitely going to start.
We start skipping some fights. We start mainly focusing on some of the fun exchanges or maybe some finishes. We move on to Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Ariane da Silva.
Girl, dude.
We went from your girl to my girl. And yeah, man. Look, Ariane da Silva, a.k.a. Lipski, throws a lot of power behind her shots, right? Both of them come in ranked at the top 15. We know Jasudavicius is not going to want to swing and bang, stay up there, right? Lipski has shown, da Silva has shown issues when she's on her back. She has a hard time fighting off her back. So it's a no-brainer. If you're Jasmine Jasudavicius, that's exactly what you want to do. Take it to the ground, the path of least resistance. Oh, yeah. And that's essentially what happened.
Yeah, because, I mean, Ariane was lighting her up on the feet. Absolutely lighting her up. And then it'd go to the ground, and you're like, oh, this is just the tale of two different worlds, really. Clearly one is more comfortable in one facet. The other is much more comfortable in the other.
Classic striker versus grappler, huh?
100%.
Jasmine had to get elite.
Jasmine's kind of a dog, though, dude. Honestly, I like her fights. She's in some bangers.
She's scrappy.
Dude. Yeah, she's in some bangers.
Yeah,
she's willing. And she went hunting for that choke and got it. That was sick, dude. So yeah, props to her. Hometown ranked Canadian.
In my notes, Da Silva reacting big time from Jasmine, threatening with level changes from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
From the very beginning, so right off the bat, no, did not want it at all. Because of that, seemed a bit uncomfortable in the first round. Second round, that's when Jasudavicius takes Da Silva down early in the round. Da Silva, instead of really trying to get up, scramble, shrimp out, doing whatever she can, seemed very content with wrapping up one of Jasudavicius' legs and keeping her in the half guard for a majority of the time. But then, Jasmine Jasudavicius gets that one leg out, gets into mount, starts beating the crap out of Da Silva. Third round comes around, single leg takedown from Jasmine, gets full control again, and then lands a Darce, I believe, right?
Yeah, got her with the Darce. Very good.
So that's what happened in that fight. In case you missed it and you were wondering and you tuned in specifically for this fight saying, I hope that they break this fight down. Oh, yeah. There you go.
There you go. And yeah, losing Derek Lewis killed this card for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that also was going on my parlay, by the way. I had Derek Lewis winning by knockout. And I got a notification saying that he was out of the fight, so I had to redo my parlay. Thanks a lot, Derek Lewis, because you lowered my multiplier. But it's all good.
Now I'm still in the hole.
Yeah, I would have been back. You
Yeah.
know? God. Oh well. All right, we'll move on. We had
Yeah.
Dustin Stoltzfus versus Marc Andre Barriault.
Yeah. This is another one that you're like, wait, this is on the main card? I don't know. Yeah. Combat Sports Day, Derek Lewis was an underdog. Yeah. Janice comes from a striking background, but I haven't seen him. I don't think he's translated it very well into MMA. And I thought that was a recipe for disaster in that
Which is
fight.
why the multiplier was so good when I added Derek Lewis in to win by KO. Because
Look,
usually it's like a whatever. Derek Lewis win by KO, maybe a 0.25 multiplier. In this case, it was over a one-time multiplier. So I was like, let's do it.
yeah, I mean, look, Janice he's had an extensive kickboxing background. He kickboxed. He went up against Rico Verhoeven before. Like he definitely has that history. And I think a lot of people look, like I said, he clearly has the experience in kickboxing and he's a great striker and all that. From what I've seen in MMA, I just don't think Derek Lewis. I don't think he was ready for Derek Lewis in MMA. Striking is so different, and I don't think he's there for it yet. Maybe he will be, but there's lots of like MMA like hipsters who are like, I followed this guy back when he was kickboxing, and I want and nobody knows who he is in the UFC, so I'm gonna ride him super hard. And I think that sways the betting lines. Or a lot of people maybe are like, oh, he's got this kickboxing background. Derek Lewis is a striker. He might get picked apart. And then just it's based off that. Whereas if you watch him, you're like, yeah, I don't think he's lost yet in MMA. No, he's undefeated, but I just don't see it yet.
Yeah.
I don't see it yet.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're not even covering that fight. The fight didn't even happen.
Still more interesting than some of the fights we're going to cover a little bit later on. But hey,
Yeah.
we got Barriault versus Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus getting Barriault down, get some good top control time. Now, the exact opposite of what Ariane did, Barriault was able to do. Gets on his right hips, able to shrimp out, uses that to be able to sit up, get on all fours. Something that I love to see Barriault do. He gets, excuse me, Stoltzfus in a three-quarter Nelson, and then he puts his left knee right up against Barriault's ear and starts cranking
Nasty.
into it. Yeah, because Barriault was there for a second on all fours, and he seemed like kind of fine with being there and trying to figure out exactly what he was going to do. Starts doing that, and he's like, this doesn't feel good. Gets out of position. They scramble, pops his head out, stands back up. They start trading. Pop, 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 pop.
Dirty boxing. Awesome.
Dirty boxing. Always down with some dirty boxing, dude. I love it. So much fun. Phone booth.
Not if you're Marc Andre Barriault. Because in that phone booth, he left he got wide just a little bit. He got a little too wide, and Stoltzfus just went straight through him, man. It was nasty and dropped him hard. And then gave him a couple nasty shots once he was already out.
Ping, ping.
Yeah, and you can see Dana in the top left there freaking out. He's like, oh my God. I didn't think these guys were ever going to amount to anything when we put them on the main card. And here we got this cool knockout.
Hey, shout out Omar.
Disrespect.
Thanks for joining us. He said Andre got smacked. That's saying it nicely. Look, it was really pretty, though. Right hook, nice and tight.
Nasty,
lands
dude.
right on the chin, goes straight back. And it was one of those where, like, he landed back and you just see his eyes just staring up at the ceiling.
Yeah, over.
You know?
Over.
Looking for the Edmonton sky, hoping you could see the stars. And then Stoltzfus decided to help him out with that. So
saw
there
some
you
different
go.
stars.
He sure did, dude. He sure did. But nice performance from Stoltzfus, huh?
Yeah, he needed this one. I think
he did.
He was getting close there. I think.
All right, you want to move on to the next one?
Yes.
Aiemann Zahabi versus Pedro Munhoz. That's the next one we're going to be covering. Zahabi, man, looking good, huh?
Yeah, he's really kind of reinvented himself a bit, huh?
Yeah, his footwork was looking fantastic. And, Will, we've been doing this long enough. What's my favorite thing?
Punches and bunches.
Punches and bunches, dude. Zahabi was coming in, ripping to the body, going up top, ending with kicks. When he started extending the combinations like that, I was like, oh, dude, this is a done deal, man. Overwhelming Munhoz. I absolutely love this fight from Zahabi. It's probably the best I've seen him in a long time. And he's on a streak. That's saying
he's on
something.
A streak, dude. He is on a streak, and it's cool to see. I mean, really just like I think this picture right here is like a perfect example of kind of how things were going. Pedro started swinging real wide, trying to crack him, and he just stayed composed and just stuck to the combos that he was throwing. You could tell he had a few sets that he was like, I got a couple things in my bag that I'm going to pull from, and just stuck to those, and they were all
Yep.
working really, really well, which is cool to
And
see.
look,
I've always liked him. I've always liked
he
his
came
brother.
into the UFC 2017. He beat Reinaldo Vieira. Okay.
Yeah.
But then he loses to Ricardo Ramos, loses to Vince Morales. So everybody's like, ooh, what's going on here? Because he had gone in undefeated into the UFC. So then he ends up at 7-2. And then he now beat Draco Rodriguez, Ricky Turcios, Richie Lang, David Basharat, and now Pedro Munhoz.
Yeah.
5-fight win streak, dude.
Yeah, really good. And I did like this look right here from Pedro Munhoz. Pedro, I really like Pedro also. He's always in fun fights. Skilled guy. Because if you look at like this last picture, or most of these pictures actually, both of these two pictures look at the posture of Zahabi. And you're like, man, if you start splitting things right up the middle, you might be able to crack him as he leans into it, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of times you want to hit somebody the direction they're moving so that they're moving into your shot. And if someone's leaning over like that, we'll talk about step-in knees, but front kicks work just as well. And Pedro was doing that. Like you could tell, like this was actually a pretty skilled fight.
Nice adjustment from Munhoz.
Fun fight. Yeah. There's
fun
the high
fight.
kick. Dude, he ate that high kick. I don't know how he
right on the neck.
Took that. It was nasty.
And I don't know if you noticed, but after that, the next round, he had like the back of his neck was like dark pink,
swollen?
And it looked swollen.
Geez. I'm colorblind. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I have a hard time with that. Thanks.
I keep on forgetting. Yeah. So, but it was a beautiful color. Well, you should have seen it. Bright pink, man. I don't know what to tell you. All right, we'll move on from this one. We're gonna cover Charles Jourdain versus Victor Henry.
Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, these prelims much better than the main card because this fight was also fucking awesome. I love both these guys. Both these guys are great.
Same. New weight class. Charles Jourdain a lot more.
Yeah, new weight class for Jourdain. Victor Henry's always been a cool guy, just kind of like fighting in every promotion all over the world. You know, I think I think because of this man, he's doing that because Josh Barnett did that as well in his career, and he's his head coach, right? And you could tell that he looks up to him quite a bit. Crafty stuff, Victor Henry, but Jourdain just keeps getting better, it seems. And I think this weight class is very good for him. Yeah.
Perfect weight class one. So a lot of dirty boxing. We mentioned dirty boxing in one of the previous fights. Dirty boxing to start off this fight. To end the first round, we have Henry that's on top. Jourdain threatens with the guillotine to end the first round. And the way that he cranked on that neck.
Yeah, true.
Sometimes hearing the clap, somebody threatens with the guillotine. The person in the guillotine is like, okay, it's about to be the end of the round, no problem. Not here. Henry starts panic shoving his arm as hard as he can because his neck was stretched out when Jourdain landed that guillotine to end that first round. So I was like, oh, dude, he's got a solid guillotine.
Yeah, and he always has. He's always used it. Sometimes to his detriment, right? Pulling for guillotines and ending up on his back.
He's never gonna stop.
Yeah. But dude, you and I really liked in this fight was the foot sweeps in the clinch.
Oh, yes.
They were fucking awesome, dude. Just one thing that you just don't really see a lot of in MMA is foot sweeps in the clinch. And it's one of those things that I think a lot of people are so used to it not being prevalent in MMA. So that all of a sudden, if somebody starts throwing it or starts landing foot sweeps, you're like, oh shit. Like I'm not comfortable here. I thought I didn't have to worry, but that's not something I thought I had to worry about in these clinch exchanges. And now all of a sudden I'm getting my legs kicked out from underneath.
New back piece, huh?
Very good.
What? Okay. Yeah, a lot of detail in that back piece.
Very well done.
And I need to know, was he put under for that? Was it all in one sitting?
Or put under?
I don't. He doesn't strike me as somebody that would be put under for that.
Do people get put under for tattoos?
Dude, that's the latest craze. You haven't seen that?
No. What?
No, like there's people that literally get their entire back done in one sitting, and we're talking
Uh-huh.
like multiple portraits, skylines, you name it. They get put under, and they have like 4 or 5 tattoo artists working on their back at the same time, and they just
What?
get it all done in one sitting. Bro, you got to look it up.
That's insane.
I,
What,
I,
they
I'm,
got an
I'm
anesthesiologist on retainer at the tattoo shop or what?
Yeah, dude. Once he's done smoking a stogie, like he just
Yeah.
rolls over and puts you to sleep, and then you guys just start working. Yeah, it's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna have to send
This
you
is like
something.
the one good fight on the card, and here we are talking about getting put under for tattoos instead of the fight.
Oh man. Well, it's interesting, but I will send something to you so you could see it. It's something that a lot of people make fun of, and that's why I'm saying he doesn't strike me as somebody that would be put under for a back piece. He seems like a
Definitely
man's
not.
man. Somebody that drops gillies without any fear. Of course, gonna do a regular sitting for that back piece. But second
And
round,
there it is.
gets taken down again. Very comfortable with his back because he knows he could threaten with different submissions. He catches Victor Henry in the guillotine. This time, Victor Henry could not get out. Taps.
Well, no,
Oh,
he
no.
does get
Actually,
out.
he does get out. That's right. And
He
as he's
backs out
standing,
and
he
stands up.
he keeps the guillotine in, adjusts the grip for the power guillotine, right?
Yeah.
And that's when he gets caught. That's right.
And that's when he gets it. And if you look at this picture, dude, the squeeze must be insane because normally you get a guillotine. You sometimes can finish a guillotine in half guard. You could definitely finish a guillotine in guard, right? That's ideally you want to get them
Yep.
back into your guard and apply the leverage, right? But I don't know if I've ever seen someone guillotine somebody who basically has side control. He's in side control in this picture. He's not inside
I'm
either
telling you,
leg.
man, from the very first round where he threw him with the guillotine and you saw Henry
Nasty.
panic and try to get out of it, I was like, oh, dude, this is pretty nasty. And as soon as he sunk that in, I was like, all right, that's over.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah,
Hometown
very.
crowd, behind him, and it was good. By the way, the post-fight interview too, where he's like, "Hey, can I get my mouthpiece back? Whoever got it, because I
Yeah,
threw it, and those
are
are
expensive.
expensive." So funny, dude.
Yeah.
So funny. All right. Do you want to move on?
Yes, I do.
Serhiy, Sidey, and Garrett
Oh, we're
Armfield.
doing Youssef Zalal versus Jack Shore.
Oh, snap. Did I skip him? I
Whoopsie
did.
daisies.
How dare I skip Zalal versus Jack Shore?
Great fight.
Youssef. Yeah, dude. He was the other part of my parlay.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Yeah, you had him by
Yeah.
finish, and
Why
then Moreno.
would I skip him? Because he made me some money.
Yeah.
Because I had him winning by finish. Absolutely. So going into this, Youssef has been on a roll. He had
Oh, yeah.
won 2 in a row. Both of them finished rear naked choke. But before that, he had fought in Sparta 98, wins by KO. Sparta, his next one wins by arm triangle. Then rear naked choke. Dude, he has been on a streak, but not just like winning by decision. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's
finishing
finishing
people,
people.
man. And
Yeah,
so
he
that's
gets
why I
cut,
saw
right? And
that on
then
there, and I was like, I got to pick that
yeah,
quick.
he got cut and then just went on an absolute tear. And Jack
Gotta
Shore's
love it.
good. I don't know about this weight class for him, if I'm being honest. You could tell the skill is still there because his hands looked phenomenal as the fight, like as they started going, his hands looked so good. But he did develop a tendency, and it's the same thing we just talked about with Zahabi, where he was leaning a ton, leaning over to set up either body shots or
Yes.
leaning over to throw the overhand, which can be good, but normally you don't really want to do that, especially against someone like Zalal right now, who seems like he's seeing everything and
In slow
is
motion, dude. He's seeing everything in
yeah,
slow motion right now. He's
the
locked in.
step-in knee, man.
Beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. It sucks because this is one of those fights where later on in a few years or a year or two, someone's going to look at Zalal's record on Tapology and be like, "Oh, he subs Jack Shore. That's cool." But the submission result doesn't show this knee, and this knee should never be forgotten. Oh my god, it was so fucking good, dude. And he was throwing it earlier in the fight. You could tell he made that read quick, and God, he landed it. It's fucking awesome.
The way he set it up too, he feints the
Yeah.
right, like just little feint, makes Shore drop to kind of throw a counter, right? He's thinking, I'm gonna duck under this right
Yeah,
that Zalal's about to
like he
throw.
had been.
And then he gets met with the knee, dude. Gets met with the knee.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Fireworks for Zalal. Shore goes down, and look at that, dude. And how quick was Zalal too to just jump right on top of that and sink in that arm triangle?
Dude, he's a finisher. Not everybody is. Some people get somebody hurt and they stay the course. Some people blow their wad and they ended up getting finished themselves. Zalal has
No
got
wad's being blown here.
Oh no.
You know,
No way.
He's playing it right.
Yeah. He's very good, dude. Very impressive.
He's got
That's a good win.
Into the top 15.
You got to give him someone ranked now. You have to.
Got to, right? Let's take a look at the 145 featherweight division. We got Edson Barbosa. Ooh.
Oh my
Dan
God.
50K Ige. Bryce Mitchell. Dude, take your pick, man. Anywhere between 10 and 15. Come on, Youssef. Right there.
Those are all fun fights, dude.
Right?
Those are all really fun fights.
10 to 15. Take your pick. Let's go. Sign them up.
Why
not? Dude, really? Like,
hey,
that would be such a fun job.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Shout out Coleslaw, man. Fantastic message. Yes, absolutely. But we're going to end with the last fight we're going to cover here, right?
Yes.
And that's Sidey versus Armfield.
Yes. Look, Armfield is one of my boys. I'm a big fan. His last fight was fucking awesome. He's always in great fights. What was the last one? Brady Heisen. Yeah, that was fucking awesome, dude. A banger through and through. The Brad Katona fight was awesome. He's just great. I'm a big fan of Armfield. He's hilarious. When he got the new gloves, he was one of the few guys to start posting about it and telling people about him. And he was like, I forgot what the meme was he was doing, but it was like his head kind of looked big in the mirror in the photo that he took with the new glove. So then he started photoshopping it and posting it each day until he got like a fight signed or something. And his head would just get bigger in each photo each day. Fucking hilarious, dude. And the guy cracks, dude. His guy cracks. Shout out Lorex says early predictions for Magny versus Prates. We will get to that in just a second. We're just going to finish this guy up.
Ooh, nice tease,
my boy
Will.
Prates.
You're getting good at this,
I'll tell you why. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this fight, I mean, I thought Armfield looked fantastic. I thought Sidey looked very good too. I'm a big fan of both these guys. But the hands looked so good from Armfield, just mixing up his attacks. And then once Sidey started to kind of close the gap with the hands, he started mixing in takedowns. His takedowns were relentless. Sidey did a great job of threatening with submissions on each takedown, but Armfield was still getting takedowns pretty much whenever he wanted. It was a fun scrap, dude. This was close.
A lot of fun scrambling.
Armfield defended this perfectly. Because ideally, if you're a Sidey, you want to hook the right leg, or really any leg of Armfield, so that you can get your hips to their hips. You don't want to be laying long ways with each other. You want to be like this. And Armfield did a great job of hopping around to the side and then pushing the hips back from Sidey so that Sidey couldn't bring his hips closer to Armfield's hips. Really good defense. Defended guillotines, ended up taking his back. Really got the win, in my opinion. But then Sidey got it.
Controversy.
Even Sidey said in the post-fight press conference that he didn't think he won.
Yeah. That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I love that.
All right. Well, that was the last fight we're going to cover for UFC Fight Night in Edmonton. And with any fights we lost? Moment of silence?
Yeah, moment of silence. Let me just switch this. Bam. Administrative details. UFC Edmonton. Bam. Derek Lewis versus Romanov got changed. Thank God. That would have been horrible. Lewis versus Denise fell through because Derek Lewis had a medical issue. Hyder Emil versus Nathaniel Wood was going to be so goddamn good, but then as soon as they announced it, Nathaniel Wood was like, nope, never signed that. I have to take care of my daughter right now, and that fight's not happening, which all power to him, obviously, but I really want to see that fight. Both those guys are awesome. Yep. I think Nathaniel Wood is still a future champion, but that's what we lost.
Throwing that out. Any monies, bonuses given out?
Bonuses. Dustin Stoltzfus got a bonus for knocking out your boy Marc-Andre Barriault. Jasmine Jasudavicius got one for choking out your girl.
No.
Charles Jourdain got one.
Yeah, let's go.
For the power guillotine was great. And Zalal got one. How do you not pick the picture of him landing the knee? I don't know.
I don't know who picks these.
Yeah. And then
All right.
before we preview next week, actually, I guess let's preview next week, huh?
Let's do it.
Like Lorik says, Magny fraud checking Pratis. What do you think?
Give me Pratis, man.
Yeah, I'm all on board.
I'm all in on Pratis. Give him a couple cigarettes before he goes into the fight. Give him a shot of tequila or something, dude. He'll be just fine going in there. Neil Magny, we've talked about it before. He is the ultimate gatekeeper. Look up gatekeeper in the dictionary. You see a picture of Neil Magny, right?
Oh yeah.
But I think Pratis is ready, dude. He's on an absolute hot streak right now. He's got a 3-fight win streak in the UFC, all of them by finish. He's got more finishes before that too. Hey, by the way, you think this guy likes Muay Thai?
Oh yeah, and that's why I'm picking him, because Magny is so susceptible to leg kicks. It's crazy. He's been in there so long, and he has never adapted to leg kicks. And Pratis definitely knows that. The fighting nerds, they know that. That camp is they know what the hell they're doing over there. I think Pratis is going to kick the ever-loving hell out of Neil Magny's legs, and it's going to take away the grappling from Magny. I think he picks him apart.
I think so too, man. And look, the only thing that can help Neil Magny here, if he just makes this a grinding fight,
he's got to get him up
strikes
against
to
the
getting
fence,
close, gets him up against the cage, has that body lock on him, and just sits there, throws a couple blows up top, gets back into the body lock, threatens a takedown. Pratis focuses solely on defending. That's the only way I see Neil Magny winning this fight.
Same. And to your point, this is actually UFC Vegas 100. This is the apex of apex events, and that is the smaller cage, so that does favor Neil Magny,
that type
who
of
wants
style,
to close the distance and hold someone against the fence. But I do got Pratis. Loris, what do you have? You asked that.
Yeah, let
what
us
do you
know.
have? You know what else we have next week, though? Oh, let's actually, before I show that, the UFC, it's Apex a million. We got Magny versus Pratis, very good. Cody Garbrandt versus Miles John is a co-main somehow. Your girl Carolina's back. Turcios versus Sopai. Mearshart versus my boy RDR. That is a great fight. Why is that not the co-main? That's insane. Pinheiro versus Gillian Robertson. How many fights are on this? 13 again? Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Dalby versus Zaleski dos Santos should be fun. Dushko's
Christian
back.
Gore's fun again, huh?
Not a great card. I'll be honest.
There's a few fun fights in here.
Yeah, out of 13, there's 3 or 4.
I always enjoy watching Semmelsberger, you know.
Semmelsberger's fun. Radke versus Semmelsberger
is always fun. Yeah, hey, it has potential to surprise us.
Yeah, I could see 5 of these fights being good.
Right?
Problem is
Gillian
there's 13 of them.
Versus Luana Pinheiro, maybe.
Yeah, actually, Robertson's my girl. I like her a lot.
Yeah,
but Mearshart versus RDR is going to have some very fun grappling. But
look, I'm saying it right now. This card is going to be better than the one we just covered.
Low bar. You know what else is going to be better than what we just covered?
I'm a betting man. I'm willing to put money on that right now.
You know what else is going to be better than what we just covered?
One.
169.
God,
we were going to be there.
I watch this. I see this picture. It makes me sad.
I know. Me too. I'm excited and sad because we were going to go to Atlanta. Your boy's still waiting for my trip insurance to pay me back for my flights. We'll see what happens. I filed it a month ago. Jesus Christ. How long does it take when the event got canceled? What's the point of the insurance? The event got canceled, right? But regardless, the fights are going on. Malakin versus Rug is fucking great. People, look, I'm going to run this down real quick. People are talking shit about that fight because of Rug's fight against Butcher Ketchup, the GOAT. And look, I get it. The fight was weird. It probably shouldn't have happened. But Rug smoked him. And it's not like they were both at that same level. It would be one thing if it was like a tough fight for Rug, but he completely smoked him. And everybody's kind of using that weird matchmaking to like dog on Rug. But he just beat Buchecha. So what are we even talking about? Get him the title shot for beating. He didn't even have to take that fight. I don't even know why that fight even happened. He already got the title shot. I think it was because Malakin was doing his thing with RDR at lower weight classes. So stay busy, right? That's a great fight. Malakin versus Rugrug is going to be cool. Very good wrestlers. I have a feeling Malakin's wrestling is going to neutralize Rugrug and he's going to crack him. Rodtang versus Jacob Smith. Again, not really sure why the fight is happening. It already happened once. Jacob Smith's coming off a loss. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's going to be fun.
Dude, this card is
Rodtang's-
stacked, though.
It's stacked. Jackie Buntan versus Anissa Mexen. Mexen is one of the best female strikers of all time. She's so good.
Wow.
And Buntan is a killer in her own right. That's a great matchup. Moraes is back after the Mighty Mouse saga against King God. That's great fun. Kong Torani versus Tagir got rebooked. That's a banger. Cade Rotolo in his second ever MMA bout against the guy that Sage Northcutt just heel hooked. Going to be pretty fucking cool. I like that they're not just throwing him like all the way at the top. Like this is a winnable matchup, but it's also still kind of a dangerous matchup. Like, but it's not like he's not fighting like a contender right away, you know. So I do like this. Sam A is back after his knockout that he just got.
Come on,
against
Sam
Jean
A.
Pignon. I mean, come on. Uchech is back against Amir Albazi. Our boy Eddie Silky Smooth Avasolo versus Yunus Raba. Come on,
straight from the Bay Area, dude. Eddie Avasolo, come on,
dude. That's my guy.
By the way, if you haven't seen that interview we had with Eddie Avasolo, please go check that out. It was a fun interview.
Yeah, very fun. I mean, the card's fucking awesome. This is a great card. It's very good. I am very bummed out. I'm not going to get to see it in person.
One. Fly us out there, huh?
Book the flights.
Send us out there, one. Come on.
Come on.
Did you enjoy your coverage? Come on. Let's do it.
Job.
What are we doing?
I thought we did all right.
All right. Well, there we go. Shout out to Lorix. You never answered, by the way, Lorix. Who is it that you're predicting here? Magny or Prates? Shout out Coleslaw, Omar Mendez, Combat Sports. Big shout out. We mentioned it earlier. We'll mention it again. If you don't follow Combat Sports already, make sure you follow him. Ganscow, real one, always joining us. Greatly appreciate the support. Pepper, Peeping Tom Aspinall himself stopped by the show just to peep out what was going on. But big shout out to everybody that joined us. Really appreciate the support. Reminder, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steady climbing. We're getting up there. He's got some things in the works to try to make the podcast better for everybody. We continue working on social medias to improve our social medias as well. You can find us at where?
Story of the Fight on everything. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, Twitch. At Story
Find
of
us
the Fight.
on Threads.
Find us on Threads. Find us on Vero. Find us on Blue Sky. Find us on Mastodon.
Have we posted
everything?
Wait, what's the last one?
Mastodon, dude. I got everything. All right.
Threads, Mastodon, Blue Sky, FarmersOnly.com.
Whoa.
Story of the Fight. You will find us everywhere. Pretty much just search at Story of the Fight. You'll find us. Seriously, if you can't find us, you're not trying hard enough. Or to give a shout out to everybody. And I wanted to give a special shout out this week to none other than Mr. Will, who is not only hosting the show, but also producing the show in the background. So shout out to you, Mr. Will. Rich got the week off. Congratulations to Rich and Araceli for their anniversary. Shout out to y'all. You two lovebirds. And thanks everybody for tuning in for this week of Story of the Fight.